Why can't I hear that?
I heard you. You were delayed. Yep, heard me too. Yep.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. Tonight for you, we have the Prototype Endurance Challenge powered by 365 hosts. That's also brought to you by Damar and by Yato. And we have a load of P217s, is that the right car? I can't remember. Delaras, who are going to fight it out tonight around Daytona road course. Obviously, this is a favourite for endurance championships. And in the booth with me tonight, I have Bill Switzer. Good evening, Bill.
Good evening, Pete. Good evening, everybody.
And on the cameras, rightly or wrongly, is Clyde Whiting, because Sam is driving one of the cars on screen tonight. So if he crashes, Clyde will be firing away like a strobe on the slow motion camera. Good evening, Clyde. Yeah. So, Bill, Daytona Road, a real endurance favourite for a lot of people, and no different tonight, I don't think.
No, I totally agree. Daytona is kind of the icon in America of road racing, even though everybody associates it with NASCAR, the 2.5 mile high banked oval. It does have a really nice road course. It's I don't know, it's 3 point some miles long. I forget exactly, but it's really unique in the fact that if you're in the grandstands, you can see almost the whole course, which is really kind of a nice deal in a road circuit type setting. And it's been the home of the 24-hour for I don't know how long. I mean, I was born when it started, obviously, but a lot of you people weren't. But anyway, it really lends itself to really good racing. It's got a very, obviously you're on the banking, high speed, and also the infield looks very simple. It's not hard to learn, but it can really catch you. I mean, it's very tricky. You got some decreasing radius corners. You got a tight hairpin, which you think you can go around faster than you actually can. And going from the infield onto the oval can be tricky at times. So it's really, it's a fun place. It always really gives good racing. So I think it'll be no different with these guys.
Yeah, it's a favourite of mine as well. Like you said, there's not much elevation change other than the banking. But in terms of the technicality of the track, it's a great track to get into a rhythm on. Once you get tucked into corners, etc. And you find that sweet spot, if I ever find the sweet spot on any track, I'll be sure to let you know. But occasionally that has happened. Yeah, it's one that you can just chip the laps off if you're on a really long race, like we were at the 24 Hours of Daytona a few weeks ago, or maybe months ago. Time flies in the BSTV broadcasting booth. Yeah, these guys love these cars, especially Sam Booth. And even though we had Clyde replaying his excursion across the grass just a minute ago, it didn't take him long, did it? Let me minimize something on my screen because it's annoying me and distracting me. But yeah, prototypes, are they a car that you drive at all, Bill?
No, I don't. I have enough trouble with regular looking cars and these kind of things. This is really a specialized kind of driving. It's got a lot of downforce. It's very fast. It's corner. I mean, I'm too old. If I go around a corner as fast as this thing, I'd be throwing up. So I can't drive anything like this. But it lends itself to really good racing. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, I'm getting better. I like cars that look different. I mean, these all look the same to me. I guess that's maybe being a Yank like I am. But it's really. I'm sure it's going to be super competitive, and I know a lot of these guys are definitely glad to have this. I mean, not that the HPD wasn't a fine car, but it was very dated. This is more like the trend of what's hot in prototypes today. So the guys that are in this are really looking forward to it, and I'm sure they're going to put on a good show.
We're into qualifying already. We don't have a timing tower. Oh yeah, we do. Because I've just started logging laps, I think. And thanks to Gary for pointing out that we couldn't hear Clyde, and that is because Clyde is in charge of all the tools and bells and whistles and things, so it's bound to go wrong. So I don't know whether you want to try your Vox again, Clyde. That's negative because I didn't hear it through mine.
Oh, I heard him. Well, I'm on the same thing as him, so.
Yeah, we are, but we're not on the broadcast. We're not hearing you on the broadcast. That could be a cursed blessing for everybody on there. But
Okay, give me 2 seconds, and I think I've sorted it.
yeah, I can hear it now.
Good evening, everybody.
So yeah, thanks again to Gary there for highlighting highlighting Clyde's ineptitude.
Thanks a lot, Gary.
And good evening to Johnny Brandon, who's tuned in. Marco Lowert is out watching as well. Who was the Rotamax 125? I can't remember when they don't put the real name.
Every single time you ask this question.
I know.
That will be a teammate of yours, Pete.
Oh dear, which one?
Rob Venn.
Rob Venn, oh dear. Terrible. Gary says, can you turn your Vox off again? Let me just turn my phone off. Because I didn't know that the sound was on it. No, it isn't normally. Jamie Jeffrey, who is also on the chat. And Mark Draper. So these guys need to get driving these cars, don't they, Bill, really?
Yeah,
and get the field up.
Yeah, Mark Draper's our current winner in another series that we run, so he certainly would do well in this, I'm sure.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. And these cars, Bill, these are the ones one formula down from the P1s that have all the complex boost systems and overdrive systems and energy harvesting and all that sort of stuff. So these are the simpler ones, but these are faster, I think, in a straight line than the P1, or so I've been informed. So these are one of the fastest cars on the service at the moment. So and they're new, so they're generally popular. We've got 16 of these things out on track. Any predictions on how many we'll have after turn 1, Bill?
Well, that's a very good question. I would think, might be totally wrong. You have to be a little bit of a hammerhead to drive one of these anyway. So I would assume that, I shouldn't assume, but I would predict that they're probably going to be a little careful the first lap. I might be wrong. I usually am, but hopefully they will, because we don't want to take out a whole bunch of cars in the first lap. That kind of destroys everything. This is a 90-minute race, correct? So, we don't want to destroy too many in the first lap, but it'll be a good chance to see how well everybody behaves.
Yeah, it will. At the minute, provisional pole is Wes Van Dyke, with Tyler Newitt in second place. Tyler is on track, I think. There he is. Antoine Blankers is in third. Hans Blankart is in fourth, and fifth is Marnix de Witt, who isn't on track at the moment. He's in his Brazilian-coloured car there.
I see we have Kevin DeWinter here, huh? That's name from another racing series we've had.
Yeah, Roy Mass, he's raced with us before, I think. I recognise the name Artie Boschhardt.
Chris Shaw, too, huh?
Yeah. Chris Shaw is in. He's in the yellow team for BSTV.
Okay.
Ben Cullen's in here. Jamie Jeffrey is in here. Kevin DeWale is in here. And Manuel Wenance is in here as well. Dion Newveld. He is new to me, I think. But I'm happy to be corrected on that one. I'm sure if I'm wrong, Clyde will point it out, as he normally does. And as Gary's just pointed out in the chat, Chris Shaw won last night in split 8 of the Sebring 12-hour.
Yeah,
so congratulations.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
To him and all the people he was driving with. So that's a good effort. Can't ask for better than that, really.
Chris Shaw's the kind of guy that does better when he doesn't practice.
Yeah, yeah. It does appear to be that way. He's one of those people that when you were at school said, yeah, I've not revised for this exam, and then gets an A.
Yeah, I know. I don't need to study.
Yeah, I just want to beat those people to death.
I hate people like that, yeah.
Strong in every car, terrible.
He is. He's a good driver.
Can do, yeah. I'll tell people what not to do. Oh, right. Okay. Have you switched it off again? That's not confusing at all. Let's go on board with Chris Shaw as soon as he's coming around this banking at the minute. Where's he heading towards? Is he heading towards the bus stop?
Yeah. Yep,
So into the bus stop here, load of curb on the left-hand side and the right. Another bit on the right there. They've remodeled that left bit on the exit. Easy to spin your car on the exit of that. And then stay close to the tram lines. We're using the normal road, not the NASCAR road, because that's got the annoying chicane that everybody forgets about. Past pit entry there. Lots and lots of slipstream down here, especially in these cars. Drift out towards the wall a little. Pick your braking spot just before the tram lines. Get it stopped. Should have chosen a different drive. Thought Chris Shaw was a shoo-in. Who's next? Crossing the stripe. Here we go. Where's Van Dyke? He's got the fastest time at the minute. He's in tow of... Who's that in front of him? Is that Antoine? I think it is. So they're into the bus stop now. See how the tow pulls him onto the back of that car? He got really unsettled going through there. This is a strange camera, isn't it? Over the shoulder cam. We had one the other day that just showed you the ARB frame, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I remember that.
The roll cage, yeah. So, firing down here over the stripe again. Lost connection for a second, into the braking zone. And then get it in here. Second gear, usually, in these cars, is turn one. And then fire it through this little right-left. He's going to park it, isn't he? Just to upset me. International hairpin, this is. Or horseshoe, sorry. International horseshoe. Generally, you fire out of here a lot faster than this. This is one of your laps, is it, Clyde? He can't answer, can he? Because he's on mute, which is always good. I can say what I like now, and he can't answer.
It's actually faster than I would do a lap, so it's exciting to me.
Yeah. This is Western horseshoe. We've been through the kink. You would then open the car up, get across the track onto the right-hand side.
Easy to go off there.
Yeah, and then this is one of the most unsettling corners. It's bumpy.
37.
Yeah, it spits you off in a number of directions, usually onto the inside there. There's nothing to hit, generally, but it still hits your embarrassment button pretty hard. And then back on the banking and back into Slipstream City. Nail it all the way down here, get as close to this wall as you can, get some of that side drafting off the wall, which apparently exists. Pick your braking spot and then tuck it back in again, and that is a lap of Daytona Road. And they're going to do quite a few of them tonight.
Yeah, yep, for sure. And we're now looking at our curbing cam.
And we're just waiting for a car to cross it.
You know, it's amazing, those little curbing cams are the stationary ones on a track right along the side. You realize how fast these vehicles are going. It's just unbelievable.
Got a few fans for Stage 1 racing tonight. So Andre Zeller and Annie Conan, both on the chat, both cheering on Dion Neuveld. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but that usually happens at the start of a new championship where all the names are new to us all. Hopefully I won't butcher them too much. A bit of movement in the standings for qualifying. Your provisional pole man is still Wes Van Dyke, but second is now Antoine Blancard, which I think is the car that we're looking at. It is, yes. Just checking the number out on the hood. And then Tyler Newitt is in third place at the moment, the highest of the BSTV gang, with Marnix de Witt in fourth and Hans Blancard in fifth.
We are so close to the ground here, I feel the road rash. God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently I got his name right. Pete in correct name, shocker. That'll never be done twice. I'm sure I'll say it wrong by the end of the day.
Take a deep breath, Pete.
Yeah. Oh, good evening to Stacey on the chat. Have you got your beanie hat yet? Just set her off onto Sam. He's on the track, so he can't hear you.
No, I think she did get it. I heard she got it. Somebody told me. Okay. We've just been informed that she got it, so
Excellent. Yeah.
Sam may live another day.
I'm interested to see what else she's got to message about now that she's got a hat.
Wow.
And we've got a change for pole, which is Antoine Blancas. He's bettered the previous time by 0.2 of a second, which in these cars is quite a long way down the track, isn't it, Bill?
Sure is. Sure is. Yeah.
So, talk you through this format. So it's going to be a 90-lap race, as Bill said before. 90-minute race. Can't get anything right today. It was a long day yesterday. So round 1 is obviously here. Round 2 will be at Sebring. That'll be at sunrise, which should be handy for sunset turn. The sun will be behind you, I'm guessing. Round 3 will be Spa. Barcelona will be round 4, and that'll be at noon. Round 5 will be Le Mans. 6 is Silverstone. Monza is the round 7 track. Road America, one of my favourites, on round 8. Round 9 will be Mid-Ohio, another one of my favourites. Suzuka will be round 10. Interlagos, round 11. And round 12 will be at Phillip Island. And that'll take us through to October of this year. So this is a long-standing one. Don't know whether there's any prizes set up just yet, but I think bragging rights for season 1's usually. As we see Antoine Blancas making his way around again, I think for another flying lap in the tow of his teammate, Wes van Dijk. He's also towing somebody else around. Who is that behind? Can we put a camera on the car behind, please? I'm sure you'll get it right eventually. It's the blue, yellow, and green one.
I thought that was a BSTB car. It's not, huh?
No. It's the one behind us now. Marnix DeWitt, I'm reliably informed, is the car behind as he comes into shot.
He's currently 4th in the qualifying.
He's the 025 car. Everybody on half the track at the moment. I don't know why that is. Maybe there's some phobia of the bit after the bus stop. But never mind. And we're on board with Marnix, scraping our chin off the tarmac. Oops, somebody's lost it. That's a BSTV car there. I predict a slow-mo coming on any minute now.
It could be our normal producer-director.
So, yeah, we've got nothing in the event viewer, so he's not rotated enough to cause any incident points, but it looked pretty dramatic.
He lucked out on that one.
Yeah, he did. Marnix is currently in 4th, hoping to improve. He has improved one sector, but I don't think it'll be enough to bring him forward. Sam's just been on the in-sim chat and said it was him that spun out at the exit of the inner road.
Yeah, out of turns 7 going onto the oval. Yeah.
Onyx might not be very happy about the cars in front slowing up, unless he's slowing up with them. Because he would have been impeded in his next lap if that was the case. So I don't know whether there's some communication going on between teams here. I know that I'd be pretty raging if I had another lap with the fuel.
Yeah, they almost look like, you're right, Pete. They almost look like they're holding them back. I don't understand that.
No, I don't. It's very strange.
Unless they don't want them to get up further. I don't know.
Stefan van der Velde is in the chat as well, and Justin Next Level Racing also in the chat, shouting for Mr. Blanchart. I don't know what you're on about. That's English. How many ciders have you had? Sorry, I'm busy talking to Clyde and you can't hear him, can you? So, carrying on, we're watching Sam Buzan now. Trying to improve his time. I think that's Tyler Newitt on the high banking. You were talking about being able to see the whole of the track, Bill. At the top of those stands, do you get given a canister of oxygen?
Well,
and a parachute?
Well, there's a good chance you can need it at times. Not quite as high up as this.
I think at the minute.
As Clyde's been to Daytona several times, you do, in some of the areas where you sit, if you're toward like the end where the grandstands kind of falls off, it almost looks like if you step forward, you'd fall all the way down to the bottom. I mean, it looks kind of steep if you know what I mean.
A lot of wheel spin coming out of International Horseshoe for that was Western Horseshoe for Sam there.
I have a few races at this track, and I have to tell you, I think that Western Horseshoe is the toughest damn corner on the whole track. I really do. I can't stand that corner.
Yeah, you go into it at a hell of a rate of knots, and you kind of bounce through the corner if you're not quite on that sweet line, hugging the inside curb on the right.
Yeah, you got to be very careful entering that. If you enter too wide, you're done. I mean, you're off the road usually. Yeah, they're kind of separated. I don't think there's going to be any chance of towing there.
No, he's kind of staying out of the tow for some reason, and I don't know why. Unless he's just trying to line up for the next lap. That must be what's going on. Maybe he's trying to get Tyler right to the top of the pile. So he's going to do some counter steering on that car.
I guess.
So into the kink we go. Trying to stay probably within about a second of the car in front for optimal towing. Smooth around there this time from both of them. Up to turns 7 and 8. So a bit of a counter steer there. A few tenths lost straight away. Still in the tow here though, so he should pull a good amount of time onto the back of Sam Buzan's car in front.
I was thinking, if you were a raccoon, do you think this would be your field of view, looking out the windshield like this?
Yeah, probably. Right, now we're really on it, and there'll be a lot of tow here. He's not done any faster sectors that I can see on the timing screens, but this could be all that is needed to make the difference.
He's getting really towed there. Let's see if he moves up.
He does. He's just taken provisional second.
I sure has, yep.
So that's a good lap there. He's only... Oh, wow, look at that. 0.02 of a second slower.
Wow.
That's nothing at all. 200. Just to answer Andre's question, the start of the race is in about 7 minutes. 6, did you say? Right, Clyde's just confirmed 6 to me, so... These guys are still towing each other around. Paint job on those cars, isn't it, Bill?
Yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of the factory Toyota colors, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
But they do look nice. Boy, some of the paint schemes you see in some of these series, I'm just amazed the amount of work and effort people put into some of them.
Yeah, even last night in the 12-hour Sebring race, some of those paint schemes were fantastic. Really top notch. Must have spent ages on them.
It's amazing. Oof.
So a position swap here. Maybe Antoine is trying to get Wes up the rankings now because they've swapped places with a few minutes to go. Probably trying to put Tyler Newitt back a place.
Could very well be.
I mean, the top three are separated by almost nothing at all. A 132.23, followed by, sorry, that was Antoine Blancas, followed by Tyler Newitt on a 132.25, followed by a 132.32 from Wes van Dijk. So there is literally nothing between the top three here. So who's your money on then, Bill?
I'm sorry, Pete?
Who's your money on?
Well, I think Tyler Newitt's going to pull it out.
I think, given the performance that I've seen so far and how clean the car goes around the corners, I think Wes van Dijk is the potential top spot here.
I would say that's a really good pick.
Right, a bit more advanced advice from Gary, and he's right. There's no audio from the simulator on the broadcast. Actually, there is, but I've had to turn everything to silent in order to be able to hear it. So whatever you've got at your end, turn it up. Not yet. Not yet. Stick with us, folks. With a new cameraman comes some additional challenges. Nope, not yet. So, only a minute away from the start of the race. There are 0 cars circulating now. They've apparently I got louder, but the sound on the sim didn't. It is faintly audible in the background, so it's going to be something that's set quite low. Thankfully, Hans and Roy have just come out on track to give us some sound.
I thought qualifying was over. We're still going, huh?
Yeah, another, 15 seconds or something like that, Bill.
Oh, okay.
Nothing really.
Clyde, I know you're kind of busy, but on your stream that I'm sharing, is it possible that you could give me like a timing thing on the left side or something so I know what's going on? I mean, I have a really nice picture, but it doesn't have any overlays or anything on it.
So that is the end of qualifying. The session has gone checkered. There's going to be a couple of minutes of burn down as any cars on track finish the laps that they're on, and then we will get into the race proper.
Okay.
Sam's got you. He's on the chat saying, "You said it was easy." Oh dear. I'm not repeating that. You muted me off it now? No, nothing. I was just making sure that I could still be heard. So, Bill, what we're going to do is we're going to make all the sound for the cars all night. So, practice your screechy car noise for when they start to crash.
Wee. Wee.
That's just weird.
Okay, Clyde, I got that probably will work better. That's fine. I got names on the side now, just like on the broadcast, looks like.
Still need more sound for the simulator.
Well, nothing's happening right now.
So, your grid for tonight. Your pole man will be Antoine Blankers. Tyler Newitt will go off second. Wes Van Dijk will go off third. Marnix DeWitt will go off fourth. I should read out the team names because we've got Team Bushfink on pole with Antoine Blankers. BSTV Esports Green with Tyler Newitt will go off second. Bushfink Racing again with Wes Van Dijk in third. Greenleaf Racing go off fourth with Marnix DeWitt. Fifth will be Hans Blancart for Stage 1 Racing. Roy Mass will go off sixth. Chris Shaw will go off seventh for BSTV Esports Yellow. Kevin De Winter will go off eighth for Stage 1 Racing again. Ninth will be Sam Boozon for BSTV Esports Green. Artie Boschart will go off 10th for Stage 1 Racing. 11th will be Ben Cullen for BSTV Esports Yellow. And Manuel Winants will go off 12th for Stage 1 Racing. 13th will be Dion Neuveld for Stage 1 Racing. And Alexander Roggenbuch will go off 14th, with Kevin DeVale off 15th for Stage 1 Racing, and Jamie Jeffrey for CCR.
Well, it looks like we got Stage 1. We got enough Stage 1 racing vehicles out here tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. But they're really clever. All their cars are not painted the same, so...
Yeah, it's a good tactic. Make it look like there's less of you.
That's right.
You figured out the sound on the broadcast yet, Clyde? And I'll tell you if we've got any sound while they tour around the track. Pause my simulator. Yeah, it's still very, very faint in the background. So, as we get towards going green, because you don't get much of a formation here, the pace car has peeled off, and he's gone. He's gone straight away, Bill.
Yes, he has. Going to funnel down into turn one. Let's see how they make out.
So, I think Tyler's lost a position there straight away into turn one. He's played it safe and ended up in third place.
Yep, Blankers and Van Dyke are in the lead at first and second, respectively, at this point. Still very early yet.
Everybody cleanly through so far. No need for the replay button or the slow-mo just yet. This is looking back from Wes Van Dyke towards Tyler.
Yep, Hans Blanker's working hard on the back of Tyler, too, trying to get by there. We got Kevin DeWinter. And go ahead.
Sorry, Martin Brennan on the chat is supporting us with the noises, but he's typed it out with a big meow. Cheers, Martin. There you go, straight through the bus stop here. It just showered Tyler's car with dirt. I tell you what, there was the other thing that really caught me out when I was racing yesterday is the new smoke model from iRacing.
Oh, really?
Absolutely whitewashes the front of your car. You can't see a thing. So there's a change for the lead. Wes Van Dyke, my nominated winner, or potential winner, has just taken the lead.
Yeah, the two teammates are going at it.
Appear to be making a race of it. As Gary normally says, he signed up for a race, didn't you? So what are you complaining about?
True, Gary.
Yeah.
And it looks like Tyler knew it's been passed by Hans Blankert, I believe. Or no, that's
Marnix. That's Marnix DeWitt.
Yep.
Yeah, good call.
I didn't know his first name. Marnix, that's right. Marnix DeWitt.
Yep, there he is. Third place. Moved up. Tyler knew it. Not having the greatest of starts, but it's a long race, 90 minutes. Who knows? He might be fuel saving this. You can fuel save a lot around Daytona Road. More than I imagined you could, because you feel like you're on throttle the entire time. But again, as Gary has explained to me, with iRacing, it's not about how much you lift so much. It's how much pedal you're pressing at any one time. It measures it on the potentiometer. So if you are slightly lifted for longer, you save more fuel. So that might be Tyler's tactic.
Could very well be, and it's very early, and we know Tyler's fast. Maybe he's just kind of biding his time. It looks like he's gotten back by Marnix DeWitt.
Yes, kind of. Yeah, he's definitely done that now. I did wonder whether being on the outside of turn one it would be a disadvantage, but he's made that stick, and now he's going to try and set off after these guys in front of him.
And Hans Blankert is not that far behind them as well.
They've got a bit of a three-car train going on here. There's a bit of a gap back to Roy Mass. He's not in a team. He's a privateer. That's a lovely paint job, though, isn't it?
It really is. Good-looking car.
Yeah, I like that. Very smart.
Yeah, rich-looking.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it's
yes,
fantastic.
It is.
Behind him is Kevin DeWinter. He's routinely in our leagues. Fantastic racer.
Look at Jamie Jeffrey. He started in the back. He's up to 10th already. Good for him.
Yeah, and Kevin DeVale, who is in front of Jamie Jeffrey, has moved up with him. They've both moved up 6 places. Tell you what, black and red are a real feature of a lot of these cars tonight.
Yes, it is. And there's Kevin DeWale looking to the inside of, is that Kevin DeWinter?
No, that was under the inside of Manuel Winans.
Oh, okay.
Both stage 1 racing. I think Manuel got a slowdown, which might be. Oh no, hang on. What we're watching here? Sam Boozen locking up. That's a pretty big obstruction.
What the heck happened there?
Can't believe that Clyde hasn't hit the slow-mo on that one.
I'll give him a chance. We just started. Oh, that was a replay, wasn't it?
Yeah, Gary's partially corrected me. He said lifting is fine, but short shifting doesn't work. So in other words, if you get through your gear... Ooh, that's not in the script. How do I win my money off you now, Bill? Wes Van Dijk's just put it sideways. Where is that?
It's first corner, I think.
Was it? Right, okay. Couldn't figure it out for a minute.
Yeah, when you have a real close-up like that, it's sometimes hard to tell where you're at.
Yeah. So this is Jamie Jeffrey, continuing to move up 7 places now, as is Kevin DeVale in front of him. So these two are running together, moving up the field.
Doing excellent. 8th and 9th at this point.
So Wes Van Dijk, who we are now watching
There's the replay. Yeah. Made a pretty quick recovery, considering.
That's what I was going to say. He didn't drop that many places, but he's way back now from the lead.
And of course, I'm not quite sure how tires are affected in this car when you do something like that.
I believe that they melt pretty quickly.
Ah.
And I think it takes an eternity to get the heat back out of them again. Apparently, Kevin DeVale is the boss of Stage 1 racing, so any points at which we can ridicule him, I'm sure the rest of the team would enjoy that. This is close. Look at the state of this. Mar next to it.
Ooh, and that's
Tyler.
Oh,
whoa! Was that a hip check? What was that?
My goodness. That was almost an accident.
It really was. This is crazy. Flashing lights there. We'll let that flashing light go because I think that one was possibly deserved. But yeah, again, Jamie Jeffrey making his way around the track. Keeping himself out of trouble. Keeping his car clean.
We're approaching 7 minutes and 7.5 minutes into the race, and they're acting like we're on the last lap and they're on fire. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Frightening view, isn't it? The one over the curbs.
It's amazing.
It's a nicely placed camera. There's a lot going wide at that entry to the bus stop. We're taking a wide entry anyway.
So Anton Blankers has taken over the lead since who was it that spun there? Hans? No. Van Dyke.
Hang on. Where's Van Dyke?
Wes, yeah. Yep.
Oh, yep. Is he going to get this done? Sam Buzan, he is.
Uh-oh.
Apparently we're getting news of Chris Shaw crashing at the bus stop. Oh, this looks like what Sam did.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and round he goes. Lots of smoke.
He didn't hit anything, though.
It's good that, yeah. He manages to miss the lot, but he resets his car anyway, which is odd.
Where'd he go? He didn't quit, I hope, did he?
Oh, he did.
Did he really? Oh,
yeah.
Geez.
Was that a rage quit?
Must be.
Just for kicks.
Slow.
Yep. I mean, style points is quite good, isn't it, really?
Not bad at all.
Look at the smoke screen. It's monstrous now.
Well, that's a shame he went out. I mean, you got a long time to go yet. I know how you feel, though, Chris. Been there many times. Tough break, mate. Okay, Anton Blanker's still in control.
And this is a replay of Tyler taking the outside of the entry to the bus stop and getting it done.
Well done. That was a nice pass.
Yep, so that's second place to Tyler Newitt. Disturbingly, it's looking like you're more right than me, Bill, about who might win this race.
Pete, is still a long way to go. Come on.
Yeah, but
just...
Antoine's got a 5.5 second lead here, so maybe he was the one we should have picked.
That's pretty substantial.
That is. In these cars it is, anyway.
But we're only in 10 minutes. A lot of stuff
here we go.
happen.
Marnix is less than happy about Tyler getting in front of him. This is a bit of a group here. 5 cars, this is.
You got Marnix, you got Hans Blankart, and I want to say Wes Van Dyke, but that's not
That's
right.
right. No, it is. You're right.
Is it? Okay.
Wes Van Dyke, yeah.
I wonder if he's related to Simon Van Dyke. Huh.
And at the back of the queue there, I think that red car is Kevin De Winter's car.
Look, did you see that closing?
Yeah, it's crazy. Whoa, that was a wiggle as well from Tyler Newitt. That BSTV green car.
Whoa!
Wow!
Whoa!
I could have signed my name on the right light cluster there if I'd reached out with a pen.
As Clyde says, you could have been a headlight licker on that one.
Yeah, definitely. So my prediction about Tyler saving fuel's got to be out the window because he's leading this little train, and he wouldn't be if he was doing that. All this scrapping, as Johnny Brandon has just pointed out, is letting the leader disappear. He's now extended himself out to a 6.5 second lead, so he's gained a second on these guys from all our pushing and shoving.
Hello to Johnny. Hope everything's going okay, Johnny.
Yeah, it's good to see Johnny on the chat.
Yeah, really.
Now this is going to be a good slipstream again. But as Johnny has pointed out, the more they do this, the less chance they've got of catching the leader.
Well, especially when they get side by side like that. That's a killer.
So that's Wes Van Dyke taking second place back. And bearing in mind, he spun it and did a quick recovery at this point actually on the track. Turn 1. Bit of a wobble there, but all under control this time. He's come back through the field pretty quick.
Yeah, he's worked his way back to second place. Darn good. Yeah, evidently it's not Van Dyke and Blanker's first rodeo.
Oh, no, definitely not. These guys look like they're...
very seasoned, yeah.
Very, yeah.
They probably have 9,000 I rating.
Well, they've got 4,300 and 3,700.
So decent. That's
very handy.
Hell of a lot more than I got.
Johnny says it's all is good with him, Bill.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it, mate.
So this is Artie Boschart. He's unfortunately the last running car at the moment. So his difficulties earlier have put him at the back. 5 places back from where he started. Should have done some research really and figured out how many laps they can do on a tank, but I didn't.
Tyler mentioned it in one of his messages not too long ago. Let me go back and look. I'm not sure.
And while you do that, we'll watch Manuel Winans. He's in the same place he started for Stage 1 Racing Seniors. Keeping his car clean and out of trouble. In front of him is Ben Cullen, also keeping his car clean and out of trouble.
Okay, Tyler mentioned that It's about 17 or 18 laps of fuel pushing flat out.
Right, okay.
He said this is not an easy place to save. I don't know about that, but in this kind of race, probably he's correct. Most likely 3 stops would be very difficult to do too. So that's one of our drivers' predictions. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Already, Antoine has his lead cut down by his own teammate, Wes van Dijk. So it's a 5.8 second lead, call it, at the moment. So he is reeling him in. And we've seen that they're kind of going for it when they get together. So it should be interesting when they get back to the top of the field together. And he is drawing Tyler Newitt with him. Tyler's just about managing to stay in the slipstream here. 0.7 behind at the moment. It'll be 0.6 by the time he gets into turn 1, most likely. Not quite. Stayed at 0.7.
Well, it's nice to see a lot of these vehicles equally matched. It makes the competition much better.
It does, and look how far Tyler has come off the front of that pack that he was previously leading.
Uh-oh.
And we're getting news of a crash. Hans Blankart. The car in yellow on your screen. Oh, exit at the bus stop. Third one. Didn't hit anything, so good effort. Man. Now, spinning these cars with traction control is a challenge, as he's just about to find out. There we go. Turn it round, and off he goes again. But he'll be quite far down the field. He's just dropped 7 places because of that. Which
so
is
easy to
unfortunate. Do. It is. In any car, that exit of the bus stop's a challenge. Especially if you hit too much of the curb, it destabilizes the car. But he seemed to be losing it just before the second bump.
Well, Pete, you've been through there many times, and it's the place that you really want to accelerate hard so you get good speed on the oval.
Yeah, and it doesn't always work that way.
No, it doesn't.
The slow in, fast out rule is definitely the key to the bus stop. But it's just too tempting to keep your foot in, like you say.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with somebody on your tail, too.
Yeah. See, Tyler looks visually to have sorted out the whole wiggling back end thing that he had going on. And maybe his tyres are up to temperature now and it's stable underneath him because he's definitely keeping with Wes van Dijk. It's still 0.7 of a second, and that's what it was a lap ago.
He just blasted all the cones down.
Yeah, that was good fun to watch that. That was good. This is Roy Mass. Started 6th, still in 6th after all what's gone on. And doing a great job of keeping that position.
With the number he has on his car, he should be James Bond.
Yeah. He's got himself a bit of air in which to drive comfortably. And this is the one with the fantastic paint job that we were spotting before.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And Johnny's providing more insights for us. So the slipstream is about 0.8 of a second in this car. Wow. I mean, that's massive, isn't it?
Certainly is. I'm a little surprised at that. I mean, I think Johnny really knows a lot of that stuff, but I'm really surprised in this car because it's so aerodynamic and it slips through the wind pretty nicely, I would assume. And it doesn't look like, that in the back is beneficial to suck up back to, but apparently it is.
Well, it's less about the fact that it cuts through the air smoothly, which undoubtedly it does, and more about it pushing the car into the ground to give it the downforce it needs to do the corners as fast as it does. As Clyde was once told by somebody, the reason that you're finding it hard to control the car is you're not going fast enough in it to generate the downforce. Go faster, you'll go around the corners faster. And that is literally the truth of it, because I did the same after Clyde told me. And that was in the HPD, or one of the old Dalaras. Can you keep working on the sound, Clyde? Apparently it's not coming through on the broadcast well enough. That's the sound of the simulation, obviously. Sound of iRacing. Yeah. Right then. News for another crash. This is Alexander Roggenbuck. He's going into International. No, that's Western again.
Western.
Oh,
yep, off the side of the truck.
Done that before.
Easy to do.
Yeah, quickly recovered though. So off he goes again. Didn't even lose a place. So
he actually did pretty well. Usually you go to the bottom of the hill and get in the tire wall there. So, but he did pretty good.
Yeah, because the grass tapers down, doesn't it? It cambers away from the track. Yeah.
You don't care how far you turn that wheel left; it always wants to go into that tire wall.
Yeah, I thought I heard. I know the guys on the broadcast are struggling to hear the sound of the engines at the moment, but I heard Tyler lift going into that last corner. Be interesting to see if he does the same going into bus stop. He does. He lifts at the 3 marker. So Tyler is trying to conserve fuel here whilst staying in the toe of the car in front. He's dropped to 1.27 seconds back.
You know, he may be setting up toward the end of the race to have a shorter last pit stop than these other guys. And but of course, the difference, 1.5 seconds there or in the pits, I mean, it's the same damn thing. But if you can make more than that, he might be better off. I have to wait and see. Wow, he was late that time. Oh, wow, that's a bad place to stop.
That's one of those situations, I think, where one incident precipitates the next. So his tyres were probably red hot after his spin at Western Horseshoe.
Yeah.
And then he's gone into the bus stop as he normally would, and not cooled his tyres sufficiently, and he's gone into another incident. So hopefully Alexander can sort himself out. He has lost places that time. He's lost one place to Artie Boschart from Stage 1 Racing. Sorry, go on, Bill.
And of course, a little frustration helps along the way too.
Yeah, because you get annoyed with yourself, don't you, for
Yep.
doing whatever it is that you've done. This is your leader at the moment, Antoine Blancas, leading the field now by 5.6 seconds, and keeping it about that. That's been the gap for a little while now, so maybe he's managing the gap back to his teammate Wes van Dijk, who is on your screen now.
Wes van Dijk seems to be playing tail gunner for Antoine Blancas at the moment.
Well, he's having to because he spun the car, didn't he? So he's rear guard at the minute.
And I'm getting Antoine blinking in and out once in a while too.
His connection is not robust, I don't think.
You don't think he's visiting the SMI today, do you?
He's channeling Yaz's internet. A few close battles on the track at the minute. We've got Marnix DeWitt. Here we go. Chasing down Kevin De Winter and catching him. That original overtake was done a while ago. Kevin is up 4 places from the start, so showing his class there. And Jamie Jeffrey has slid back from where he was. He was many positions up from his start. I think it was about 8 or 9 at one point. And he's dropped back 2 or 3, back to 11th place.
That's a shame. He was making good progress.
Yeah, and this is Roy. You're on the bonnet of Roy Mass's car. And he's chasing down Sam Buzan from BSTV Green. Oh, is this a pit stop?
It looks like it.
It is.
Wow.
Tries to shed all that speed very quickly. Not the easiest thing to do when you've been travelling at whatever rate of knots these things do on the start-finish. Down to 86 kilometers per hour. And stop in your box.
Looks like he's okay with tires. I would think he should be.
Yeah, I would definitely think so. So it'll be a fuel-only stop for Roy. Hans Blankart is into International Horseshoe. Make sure I get that one right.
On the money.
And Ben Cullen is the car chasing.
Ben Cullen's currently in 9th, doing a pretty good job there.
Yeah, he was a bit squirrely just there. Western Horseshoe again, wasn't it? Every time.
It's a tough corner, I'm telling you, it really is.
Oh, here we go. Antoine Blankers in pit road.
Stop, yep.
And his teammates followed him. Marnix has just entered pit road as well. And Kevin DeVale. So everybody's pitted the car apart from one Mr. Newitt, first name Tyler, who's stayed out and gone another lap. So we'll have to see how this plays out later in the race, I think, Bill.
Yeah, I would say so. He's trying a different strategy, which I believe is the right thing to do, really.
Now, this is Weston.
Yep.
And out of the infield track, back onto the banking.
I'm amazed how much countersteering they have to do in this car. I didn't realize it was that slippery at the back end.
It goes together with what I was saying before about the faster you go, the more grip you've got because the air is pushing the car down. So, of course, when you're going through a turn as slow as the one he's just been round, the car pops up. There's nothing pushing it into the floor, so it loses that grip level, the aero grip, and the back end of it wants to dance about. And that's what they're countering.
It makes sense, and of course, if you're on the binders, you got a lot of weight shifting forward, too, which makes the back lighter, too. So Tyler looks like he's coming in.
Yep, Tyler to pit road. There we go. Let's see if he can spot his bus stop dude. It's the biggest challenge of my racing day, is spotting my own pit box. I hate it when you're in oval racing and there's 5,000 cars and he's trying to find your flag in all of it. It's crazy.
It is. It's terrible.
Again, there won't be any fuel taken here, but it'll be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Antoine and Wes.
And Antoine is just coming out of turn 4 on the oval.
Where is Tyler at the moment?
Let's see if Tyler gets going here.
He's not moving yet.
No, he's not gonna get him. How about the second place guy?
Which will be Wes. He's out behind. No, he's out behind Wes. And he's going to be quite a way behind Wes as well. The undercut appears to have been the thing to do here. Well,
he did lose some time there.
Yeah, or don't do the overcut, I should say. But we don't know how that'll play out to the end of the race, because if he manages to save enough to save a pit stop or something, if it's borderline, then he may be in clover by the time the flag gets dropped.
Absolutely, for sure. He might just have to do a splash and go and get out ahead of these guys toward the end.
Yep, I think virtually everybody has been to pit road now. check the timing screen. Yep.
Yeah.
Artie Boschart is in pit lane, and he's leaving it now. So
He's exiting. That's right.
Excuse me. So these guys are doing 315 kilometers an hour leading into the bus stop, and it'll be more when they go over start-finish line, I expect. That's without a tow.
315, really? Wow.
Yeah.
That is tooling right along.
Yeah, Johnny's just pointed out that along with what I was describing about the lack of downforce at slow speeds, they'll be running the lowest wing setting they can around here in order to reduce the drag on the straights, because it is such a slipstream centric track.
Sure, it's a speed track, no doubt.
So JPR Motorsport. I think JPR were in the race yesterday with me. That name rings a bell. I was chasing that car for a while, albeit that I was 28 laps behind him. He says Wes will still win the race.
Well, obviously these guys have a very good chance. They're very competent. They've done a great job so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And Antoine's lead has been chopped by a little bit. He's lost half a second off it to Wes. But the real, not loser, because we don't know how far off his plan he is, but Tyler's now 6 seconds behind this car, with some work to do, potentially, depending on how the future pit stops work out, and the fuel saving, etc. Roy Mass is still in close contention, I think, with Hans Blancart. Which will be our closest battle. Is it Hans, or is it actually with Sam?
It looks like Ben Cullen in back of Hans, a little bit further back. Oh, up above.
There we go. There's Roy
Maas.
Maas.
Like Sam Buzen and Roy Maas, yeah.
Just me reading my timing screen wrong. Mr. Commentator, as JPR Motorsport is talking to me now, Mr. Commentator was in the BSTV eSports car. You'll remember me from events such as getting rear-ended about 6 miles into the sky at turn 1.
Yeah, Roy Maas is currently working on the back of Sam Buzen and the twisty bits here.
And the gap is staying around 0.6, 0.7 of a second here. And Sam may be on a fuel save strategy as well, but he pitted when everybody else did, so I doubt that that's the case. I think the fact that Tyler was the only one to manage to save enough fuel to get an extra lap out of it might be significant by the time we get to the checkered flag.
Yes, it might be. I totally agree with you. We'll have to wait and see. And, of course, one thing we got to remember, too, we still got a lot of laps left that things can happen, and they do, as we well know.
So he's on him now. He's right in his slipstream here. This is This is what 0.47 of a second looks like. And it's coming down significantly. Kevin DeVale, who is the car in front of... are we on with Kevin? If we look back from Kevin... Oh, no. Forward now, because he's just overtaken him. That is Kevin De Winter. He's executed a pass at turn 1 pretty effectively, to be honest. That was good. Ben, who is supposed to be racing, has written in the chat to the chap who I was talking to. You may not have seen Pete. He spent most of the time in the pits. I think he should concentrate on driving, personally. What do you guys think?
Well, I think he just got passed, so maybe he should concentrate a little harder on racing. Yeah,
and Johnny Brandon's point is very well made, that no amount of fuel saving is going to be great if someone's got overall speed. It'll just be a case of win it by putting your foot down, really. So this is a very close battle. This is Manuel Winant.
I believe they're.
Sorry, go on.
I thought maybe they were teammates, but I guess they're not.
They are indirect teammates. So the car passing was Stage 1 Racing Seniors. The car that was passed was Stage 1 Racing.
Okay, because it had a similar paint job. That's why I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Sam Booz, and he's trying to catch back up with Roy Maz.
Yep. And you can make a decent lap of keep switching as long as you're both not getting in each other's way, and you just use the slipstream to pass the car and then hand it back again. You can move forward like that, but you have to have a friend with you. Who's that going slow in front of them? Is that Kevin De Winter?
Yes, it is.
So
he
must have lost it in turn 1 because he just executed a pass himself.
Here comes a replay. Looks like they're coming into the turn 1 area.
Yeah, so this will be for Kevin. We're on. Oh, here we go. So Kevin was ahead of the other Kevin. Everybody's called Kevin. Apparently, you can only sign up if your name is Kevin. He's gone too wide and overcooked it.
Yeah, he came in kind of shallow too. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, carrying too much speed to turn, probably. So now he's in the clutches of Roy Mass and Sam Boozen, so we'll have to see how that falls out at the end of this. And then sneaking up behind these guys is Hans Blancart. There he is. He's actually catching up with Sam. So this is going to be a 4-car battle in a couple of laps, I think.
Stacy should be cheering for this car. It's got a yellow nose on it.
Yeah. Well, she can't shout for Chris Shaw, who was in BSTV Esports yellow car, because he's gone. So it's Ben Cullen or bust, or this car, rather.
Look at Roy Maz. Wow. Going to put a move on Kevin De Winter?
Yeah, the guy.
Maybe not.
Oh, here we go.
Whoa.
Ooh!
Whoa.
No. Oh, where are you going, Sam? That was nearly a 3-car crash. Roy Mass drives away from it. I'm sure we'll get a replay of that because.
I don't think Roy Mass had anything to do with that spin, but I might be wrong.
No, well, he did. There was an initial contact here.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yep. So about here. There we go.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
And then stage left is Sam Boozen's car somewhere. There it is. Again here from outside the cars. So it tightens up at turn 1, and these guys really should have been further apart.
Yeah, he did. He kind of brushed them there. You're right.
Sam did a great job of not hitting him.
Yeah, darn right. Well, we know our normal producer-director knows where the brake pedal is. That's good. Wow, that was a heck of a stop, Sam. Good job.
Threw the anchor out of the back. Well, you haven't got a back window, but Ben says he wouldn't cheer for himself either. And the chap that I was speaking to from JPR said that I was in his teammates' split, and their race was, in his words, eventful as well. It was just a race last night of netcode after netcode. It was ridiculous. You couldn't go within 3 feet of another car. As we all found out, maybe not Gary. Gary got a Porsche thrown in his way. I had someone throw a Lamborghini at me. That was less than pleasant.
Oh, goodness.
But everything else was either those silly off-tracks you get at Sebring or netcode. Masses and masses of netcode. There was a 3-car netcode crash in our race, which was just ridiculous.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
That ruins it, I'll tell you.
Well, 2 of those teams quit out, so yeah, it did. But anyway, back to this racing.
Here's our 1 and 2 racers at the moment, I believe.
No, this is Jamie Jeffrey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
With I think that's Kevin De Winter in front of him. So Jamie's still up 5 places from his start, which is fantastic going. He's not the forward mover of the day. The forward mover of the day is Kevin DeVale for Stage 1 Racing Juniors. But and here he is.
And he's the big cheese of this outfit, huh? That's something. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we got to be nice to him, I guess. We don't have to be, but we will. He's tooling right along in 5th place. Darn good showing.
This is a good result, seeing as he's up 10 places.
Absolutely.
He's clearly avoided any other... Oh, and I have just cursed him.
Oh, that darn turn.
It is International Horseshoe. And then head towards the kink. And let's see if his tyres are cool enough. Oh, here we go. See this one on board as a replay here. So Kevin tucks it in and around he goes. And there's not a lot you can do once these cars let go like that. It's very difficult to correct it. Keep your foot on the brake and wait for it to stop and hope you don't hit anything. Lost a place there to Roy Mass.
Could have been worse.
Yeah. And what's this?
Where Jamie Jeffrey something happened.
Yeah, heading towards Western Horseshoe.
Too wide. Yeah.
Too wide. Yeah, straight away. Both of us spotted that immediately. But none of these guys are hitting anything. The furniture's quite far away, far off the track.
Really good recovery by Jamie too. Very quick.
Yeah, it was. Well, they're coming in thick and fast now, guys. So that's Jamie.
Alexander
doing a bit of
Rollenbach having some more issues today.
All right.
Oh,
there we go.
He's wide. Yep.
Oh, that is acres wide. See, I blame Stacy for that one because just before Jamie lost it, Stacy said, "Come on, JJ."
Yeah, and she's a part-time announcer, so she can do the curse also.
Yeah. So this is our closest battle of the race at the moment.
Okay, we've got Roy Moss on the screen, and
yeah, this is the pass that was affected when Kevin spun, just to show that that position
Kevin
was
decided.
gained.
Looked like Kevin decided to take the MotoGP route instead.
Yeah. That's the tight cut through there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kevin De Winter now approaching the back of Ben Cullen's car, I think. Well, it has to be, doesn't it? Because Chris is out. And Kevin, we saw getting past people quite easily before. Let's see what he makes of Ben. Not far in front of Ben is Sam Boozan, so... I mean, Sam's had a spin. Kevin's had a car contact and a spin. So he's on a recovery drive now. Tell you what, 16 cars on Daytona. It's been an eventful race. Look at the speed, the overspeed rather. It's just
incredible.
Obscene, isn't it?
Side by each into turn one.
Yeah, and that's going to draw both those cars onto the back of Sam's car.
Boy, he really put it in there, I'll tell you. Looked like he was going way too fast, but he hauled it down nicely.
Here we are on board with Kevin De Winter. If you can hear me, Sam, winter will soon be upon you. Meanwhile, at the pointy end of this race, Antoine Blancas has a... Oh, I don't know what the gap is now. Because my timing tower has just gone mental. 3.8 seconds. And Wes Van Dijk's works out a monster 13-second lead over Tyler Newitt, who I'm more convinced than ever is fuel saving, because his qualifying time was more on competitive lines with the two in front of him. So this is going to be an interesting battle of tactics, Bill.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that Tyler's fallen back that far. I mean, that's a lot of time to make up. I don't care how much fuel saving you're doing, but hey, he's a better driver than I am, so, and a better statistician. I mean, I wouldn't go until they said you have 2 laps of fuel left. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. That was Kevin De Winter passing Sam Buzan into turn 1. Marco Lewis says he thought that winter was over. Afraid not.
Oh, Sam looked hungry at that turn. Did you see him on the back of Kevin De Winter? I thought he was going to give it a try there.
Bit wiggly coming out of the infield section. So Sam should have a bag full of tow going down here. A nice hole in the air cup for him. I don't know whether that affects the amount of downforce, but he should gain hugely here. He'll want to stay behind for the bus stop because the real advantage is getting that slingshot into turn 1, Bill.
Exactly.
So we should see Sam draw alongside, probably just before the start-finish line.
He's moving in a little bit. Here he comes.
Oh, he's going for it early. Well, not early, but... Oh, he's staying behind. He's actively staying behind, so Sam must be on some sort of tactic there. And he's off the gas early and rolls it into the corner. So Sam Buzan may be on some sort of tactic here as well.
Could be.
Or maybe he just wanted to be closer before he executed the pass. Or maybe he thinks that Kevin's faster than he is, so safer to just sit behind him and let him pull him around the track.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a necessity for him to pass this minute, so maybe he's just sizing things up and trying to figure out what the best strategy would be to get by him again.
Yeah, well, in front of Kevin De Winter is 7 seconds of fresh air to Hans Blancart.
Wow.
Maybe Sam thinks that Kevin's the faster car and he can pull Sam towards the battle ahead of them.
By that last lap aerial view, it appeared that Hans Blancart gets onto the oval going toward the bus stop much quicker than Sam Buzan does. He loses a lot of time right there for some reason.
Yeah, that's Kevin in front of him, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kevin De Winter. I'm sorry. Thank you, Pete. Oh, and our first inset picture of Tyler Newitt today.
The answer to your chat question there, Clyde, is no. Tyler fighting his steering wheel. Well, there was Tyler, I should say. And your insert picture for a second there was Sam's on board. Cameraman trying different things. And Sam's sticking with Kevin De Winter. Further forward, Roy Mass is now caught up with Marnix DeWitt, I think.
Roy Maas looks like he's got Kevin DeWale not too far behind either.
It might be that way around. I often get these the wrong way up. Can the cameraman move us on to Roy Mass?
He's on him now, I believe. That's the 007 car.
Oh, hang on.
It's Kevin DeWell.
I need to press buttons. Apparently, I've only just noticed. So yes, here we go. Kevin DeVale closes in, but his apex was a very, very strange one. He kind of diamonded the corner, which didn't really work.
He lost some exit speed. Coming in, he got really close. But...
It's the exit speed that gets you the advantage, though, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Wes is right up here at Weston.
We stayed with him through that corner.
Definitely. It was a good line, actually.
Yes, it was.
Better than the line of Roy Mass, who we're on the back of. And we should be in a great place for tow. We'll have to see what goes on here. Isn't it funny how these races work out? You can go for a little while where there's no competitiveness, just for a few laps, and then everybody starts piling in, because I think Tyler Newitt's getting caught now by Marnix DeWitt in front as well.
Yeah, it is. It's funny how that works. You think you're out there by yourself, and then all of a sudden there's 4 people around you.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyler's definitely getting hauled in by Marnix DeWitt now. Oh, big time there in turn 1.
Oh, yeah.
And that's already down to 0.7 of a second. I don't think Tyler's going to be too bothered, though, if he's on a fuel save strategy. I mean, look how he closes in on the braking because Tyler's already off the gas. I don't think there'll be any resistance here necessarily from Tyler on the next straight. Well, that's extra wide, isn't it?
Whoa, I guess.
So he's not going to pass him before the bus stop, I don't think, now, because he's slipped back to 0.6 of a second.
Yeah, Marnix lost some time on that exit from 7 to 8 there for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, goodness.
So Dion Neuveld apparently has had some issues. Here we go. We're heading towards International Horseshoe. He's going to over-rotate the car and point it at the inside, is he? Oh, no, he's going to run wide and point it at the inside. Oh, he needs to be away from there pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's the racing line. So, again, didn't hit anything. Just some blushes for that one. So easily done in these cars.
Look at that. Wow.
I thought he would have got that done before, and Tyler's let him go there by the look of that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
The body language of that car.
He definitely let him go.
And this might aid Tyler's journey to the checkered flag, because if he can stick with this car using its toe to drag him round, he'll get a few milliseconds of extra time. Who's that?
Roy Mass in the pits, yep.
I think he was one of the first ones to pit the last time round.
Yeah. I think you're right, Pete.
This will be interesting to see what goes on here. He pitted on his own on a lap, and then the rest of the field followed him in the next time round. So let's see what happens. This is early, though, isn't it? Because if it was 18 laps, 17, 18 laps per stint...
This is 34, so that would be early. 17 and 17 is 34, so...
Yeah, so he's on very early tops.
He might be running on that, yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to go further than, let's see, 34. It's going to go further than 51 laps, don't you think? It'd be like in the mid-50s, I would think.
Yeah, top. Our leaders are both in. And honestly, Wes Van Dijk, lastminute.com on the brakes. I can't believe he wasn't speeding across that threshold. If he wasn't, then that's probably... Oh, he's overshot his box.
Ooh.
Antoine Blancas overshot his pit box. That's usually what I do. I overshoot my pit box, and Gary Craig, if you remember, just rolls backwards from his. That was quite funny that time. So I think Wes Van Dijk might get out before him here. And Tyler's past pit lane. Whee!
Wow.
Well, you can't get much closer than that. Yeah, yeah. I don't think that pass could be executed in real life. But I suppose using the knowledge of the sim. So these guys haven't taken tyres, have they? Oh dear. What have we got going on now? Oh, hang on. That's a replay of the pit exit of the top two guys. The Bushfink boys. And they are absolutely together now, so maybe they'll have a bit of a race of it between the two of them. And yeah, our temporary second place driver is now Sam Buzan, who's stayed out. So he was fuel saving, as we witnessed, and he's gone another lap.
And Dion Newell's in the pits as well.
Yeah, he was the last of them to pit last time.
Huh.
And Alexander Roggenbuck has gone a lap down now. And Sam's gone... Oh, so the two BSTV green cars have both gone round again. Ben Cullen in pit road.
He's in the pits, yep.
Doubt there'll be any tyres for these guys. Maybe in the last stop, but probably not. They'll probably go the full 90 minutes on the same set of tyres, I would think. Apparently you need to turn me and Bill down in terms of volume. Marco can hear it, but I'm too loud. Or maybe that's just Marco saying that Pete needs to stop talking.
Or he doesn't like the calcitrant tones of Pete Bingham. I don't know.
And Tyler Newitt's gone round again. Wow. So that's impressive. Let's see what Mr. Buzan does. I wonder at which point Bushfink start getting their abacus out and... oh, Sam's not been able to do another lap, so he's
coming in, yeah.
Got box in his ears. Picks out his pit boy, or pit bloke, or whatever it is. Pit dude. Up on the mark. There we go. It looked pretty smooth.
Of course, on the broadcast, you can't see it. Only the driver can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good point. Good to point out for the people watching at home why they can't see a pit dude.
Yeah, how come the pit dude's behind the wall there? What's going on? And Sam's away.
Back to racing. Still got his pit limiter on for some reason.
Very tricky pit road to get out of without crashing.
He was doing the whole of the pit exit with his pit limiter on just then.
Huh, that's strange.
Can we return to... Well, we'll have to watch Tyler come in, but... I wonder if... oh, is he going again?
My goodness.
Has he got a solar-powered car? Can you switch to Sam and see if he's up to speed? Oh, here we go. So he was on pit limit. Still, you can still see it flashing in his cockpit.
Oh, well, he just went.
And then he's away.
You know what? They moved the green way down. Did you notice that? The exit?
Of course. They've done that change, haven't they?
It used to be, right, where it went into the narrow road, but I just noticed the green cones when he came
No, you're right, and it's me being stupid. I've even driven this the updated course as well. So a bit foolish. Yeah, JPR Motorsport has just also corrected my lack of memory. There's so many people used to spear into the tight left-hander as you went round it. It's not a surprise. That's in real life as well as in simulation.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. And JPR's just said, probably to keep people out of that damn wall. Which race was it we were commentating on and someone speared the car into the tyres at the end of pit wall? It was hilarious. The car just stuck there. It was brilliant.
And it appears that they've removed they used to have these crazy sausage curbs kind of at the end of pit road, and if you went over there, you'd wipe your suspension.
Well, you say that. It used to give you damage on your car.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
If you went over there, you'd tear the damn wheel off, for God's sake. It was terrible. They appear to be gone now, too.
I went over them before the change.
Tyler knew it's in, by the way.
Finally. God, I thought he was never going to pit.
Okay, you can put the solar panels back in, Tyler.
Yeah.
Yep, I think you're right, Clyde.
So, cameraman's opinion is that there's only one more stop for Tyler. I think this is the last stop, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. And everybody else will need to put some juice back in the car, however small.
A little less than 30 minutes to go.
So, Team Bushfink take positions 1 and 2 back.
Oh.
A Wes Van Dijk incident we have. Here he is. On his teammate, is this? Sincerely hope not. Oh, an over rotation.
Oh.
See, that would have been an issue if he didn't already have a 20-second lead or whatever it was over the next car. And it was a 20-second lead that he had over Marnix de Wit in the Greenleaf racing car, where you're watching Hans Blankart.
And Roy Mars.
And Roy Maas, yeah. Alexander Roggenbuck with another incident here. At turn 1, this is going to be the same as we've just seen, I'm guessing. Oh, a bit further around the corner, but yes, effectively the same. Oh, he's managed to half correct it. Ooh. Always worry when cars are passing. Is he trying to select gear? Yeah.
He's had an adventure today.
He has. Yeah, it's race 1 of the season, and practice indeed makes perfect. So maybe Alexander needs a bit more of that.
You know what? And he's still going. Good for him.
Yeah. That's the spirit you want, isn't it?
I would have been drinking beer a long time ago. Here's another look at it.
No, it's the same one.
I think he also, I'm not sure if he couldn't get a gear beat. Almost looks like he was letting those two people go.
It could have been that, actually. He probably didn't want to interfere in their race. He is down laps now, or down a lap, I should say. But like you say, he's still going, which is good.
Yep.
Back to Hans Blankart, with Roy Maas in front of him. And Marco Loertz just pointed out that Clyde is practicing too. And probably needs much more practice. We didn't get to do Media Day because only about 2 or 3 cars turned up for this. This is effectively the practice on cameras and tech, etc. for this series because we couldn't do it the first time. So please be patient with us. Next time we'll be all professional like we've never been before.
Are you kidding me?
So he reeled him in massively there. And that is Kevin DeVale's car not too far in front of these two. So I suppose you could argue that if Hans keeps his head together, he'll stay behind and not disturb the status quo that they've got at the moment while they get onto the back of that car. Because that's fifth place, Kevin DeVale, in front of them. I'm not repeating what Clyde just said because it came out of a Christmas cracker. And it involved Hans.
Now, collectively, if these gentlemen could work together, they could maybe get up further up the line there.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. Get themselves a top 5 finish. One of them. So now it would seem logical to wonder how long a pit stop would have to be, or what the minimum pit stop time on pit road would be for Antoine or Wes. Probably more a question for Antoine, now. How long would they be in pit lane for, and have they got the lead over Tyler Newitt that would account for it? I think it's going to be fairly close.
That's an excellent question. I was going to say, I think they're going to be all in one little area near the end of the race.
And it would play towards what Johnny was saying before, which is if those two can absolutely gun it for the rest of the race, can they get a big enough gap which covers their pit stop?
Yeah, exactly. That's the key, I would think, right there.
And I think only time is going to tell now, because I can't work it out. I'm too busy watching this working over of Hans Blancart on Roy Mass here, and Roy Mass trying to get back to Kevin DeVale, who is pulling away from them, actually. It was 1.5 seconds. It's now gone out to 2. So I think Kevin's got it all sorted now and into a rhythm. See if Hans lifts into the bus stop here. No lift. He's on it. Good line through there, actually. He's got a lot closer to Roy Mass now.
Yeah, he's going to really draw him in and close coming out of the bus stop. Look at that.
Didn't wonder whether he'd get on the back of it and be a bit like a dog chasing a car.
Really?
If it ever caught it, would it know what to do with it? And Alexander Roggenbuck has again taken towards the scenery. Turn 1 again.
Whoa!
Very wide. Oh dear, that's
into the tire wall.
Oh, is he stuck? You can get stuck like that in iRacing. He is. Oh, that's a shame.
It is a shame.
Yeah, I've definitely done that. Not exactly there, but I think you'll see him over-rotate the car, slide sideways into the barrier. He doesn't hit it that hard, really, does he? Oh, he does. And then he'll be stuck. And I don't know what that is with iRacing, but it's happened to me. So, Hans Blancart, after getting in front of Roy Mass, is now being hunted down by him. And this is going to get done fairly quickly onto this straight here, I would think. Off turn 4.
And
Oh dear.
Whoa!
That was a line change by Hans, which caught Roy Mass out big time. I don't know whether Hans was trying to let him through on the inside and then pick up his toe again or what, and try and work together with him, but the communication was lacking.
The the way that Roy reacted, it looked like he had a surprise moment himself.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a code brown. May have been a light brown, but...
He has just passed Tyler Newitt also. Marnix Newitt got a report of a crash.
Right, let's have a look at that then.
Huh.
But Marnix, where is Marnix on track at the minute? Is he still in front of Tyler?
He just passed Tyler not too long ago. Third, right. Nothing shows on the replay, so we'll have to see what happened here. He's still showing being in third place.
And we're back to Roy now, who's back chasing Hans. It's a lovely bit of grass, that. So we've got no footage of Marnix's incident, unfortunately. Here comes Roy over the stripe and into turn one. Dump all your speed off and get back on it again. And apparently Alexander Roggenbuck is leaving pit lane, which is great to see him rejoining the track.
Yeah, good for you, mate. Good job.
Doesn't take long to repair these P2s, which is why a lot of them like driving them, because they just switch the panels off, etc.
Oh, our director's going, oh, something happened here.
Mr. Boozan's on the screen. This could be a slow-mo. Oh, it is a slow-mo replay. Let's see. Turn one. Over rotation.
Not looking good right now. A little.
There we go. He's already locked up.
Lock that puppy dog up. Look at that.
Is he going to reverse it into the tyres, or is he going to fall short?
No,
he's going to stop. So he'll be on liquid rubber for the next half a lap. Did he lose any spots in that? I don't believe he did.
No, he's currently running in 9th position.
That's where he was before, because he was previously getting overtaken by Kevin De Winter, so he's lost his toe. That's not going to do his fuel saving any good.
Well, our director either has a chainsaw outside his window, or that was a motorbike.
Yeah. Glad the guys at home can't hear that. Which is good.
I was gonna say you should have taped that. We could use it for the car sound effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, another
Roggenbuck moment. And this is turn one again. Not his favourite turn, and it's going to be an over rotation again. Oh, a much slower one, and caught it mid-turn. So
it looked like he was going to make that one.
Yeah. We may have to call turn one incidents doing a Roggenbuck from now on. I've yet to decide on that.
Around the Roggenbuck. Now, these two guys are probably going to have a beer together. They've been so close all day long out here between Roy Moss and Hans Blankhardt.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens this time. So, is he going to go to the inside this time? Yeah. So he reads that one better. And gets on the right line for turn one. They are catching now, Kevin DeVale, finally. They've halved his lead.
Well, there he was. He was right on the screen just then. I noticed him, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's still on. There's a replay. Steps out of the slipstream. And in certain cars, it hits you like a freight train when you step out there. Air is like a wall.
A big wall, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. I'm not sure whether it feels the same in these things because they're so aerodynamically sound. But so if they're playing that game, then the next time that they go over the stripe, they'll switch again. Because that is how you can leapfrog each other to pick up a few positions together. I don't know whether they'll be doing that. Andre Zeller says half the field is teammates. It's true. And that it's not Dion's evening. No, Dion is 14th at the moment. One place back from where he started, and not managed to pick up any places for stage 1 racing. There he is, making his way around turn 3.
I like his color combination. It's cool looking.
Yeah, it is actually. I like that. And
that is Tyler Newitt. Yep.
Fuel Saver of the Year award. He's having a conversation with someone in his bedroom while he's in his bed shaped like a sports car or something.
Yeah, maybe he's telling his cat to stay away from the machine.
So so he's in. Yeah, Clyde's saying he's chatting to his mum, saying he'll do his homework when the race is over. He's currently in 4th place. We've yet to see. Oh, he doesn't like those cones at all.
He killed a few more cones.
Yeah. So we've yet to see how this all pans out at the end of it. So this little battle is closing on him, but he's not going to be bothered about that. He's just going to be bothered about finishing the race with enough fuel. And we'll see his lap times leap up, I'm sure, once that point is passed. He's not doing laps that are woefully slower than those around him. He's doing a 1:34.9 last lap. So he's a second off the leaders. But knowing Tyler, he's calculated it down to a fine art, and knows what lead he he can let them have, as it were. And we have Dion Newveld entering the pits for the final time. This will be a splash and dash, as we are only 10 minutes from the end of the race. 13 minutes from the end of the race.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't mean to be one of those exacting pain in the asses. I'm glad you corrected that, Pete.
That's all right. This is Hans Blancart for Stage 1 Racing Seniors. I don't know what priority seniors have over juniors in that team, but the juniors are beating the seniors because that's Kevin DeVale in front of him.
He's the boss man too, so you got to be careful. You don't want to nerf him, you know what I mean? It's on board with Hans Blancart. Heading toward the bus stop.
Yep, no fuel saving here. That was braking at the last point you can do. And chasing his gaffer down in front.
I hear somebody accelerating in the background. Must be somebody coming out of the pits or something.
Maybe Roy Mass.
It could be.
Oh, he's pitting now.
Okay, yep.
So he was the first of the ones to pit in all the pit stops so far.
That's right, you're correct, yep.
So this will be his splash and dash.
Let's see, we're on lap 50. He's a lap early this time for some reason. It's 17:34 and it's 50. That's only 16 laps, isn't it?
It's simply as trying to get a clear pit lane.
Maybe, yep.
So Hans is turning up the wick on his boss now. He's cut that lead down. So let's see whose fuel can run furthest now. We're talking about Tyler saving fuel. He's saving fuel doing a 134.4 at the moment. But the cars around him aren't going particularly much faster. So Kevin DeVale behind him is doing a 134.2, and the car in front of him is doing a 134.1, which is Mar next to it. So he's managing the time as well as managing the fuel by the look of it.
Well, we now have 10 minutes to go. When do you think Tyler's going to hit the loud pedal? Pretty soon, I would think, wouldn't you?
It depends how marginal he is. He
That's
may
true.
have to stay off the... Oh, hang on. He's just put in a 133.9. So he's just taken half a second out of his own previous lap times.
Might be picking it up a little.
Yep. So that may have been very fortuitously told there from you, Bill.
Or a scientific wild ass guess. We'll find out in a minute.
Yeah. Annie on the chat says the oldest senior by stage 1 racing is 64. Annie? Oh, that's true. That's totally confusing, by the way. You're stopping that for the next one. Talking to me and Bill. Yeah, yes, you can say those naughty words, yes.
Whoa,
He was very quick into pit lane.
Wonder if he was speeding.
So everybody's piling into the pits now. I can guess 2 cars that won't be.
1 and 2 are in the pits. Yep. Blankers and Van Dyke.
Certain that Antoine has got a penalty for that entry.
I would think so. He I think was going too fast.
Oh, and a reverse from Wes Van Dyke. Not that bit I want to see, it's the bit before it.
Wow. That was a quick stop.
Very, very brief stop, yeah.
Here comes Tyler.
So Tyler's going to have to get his foot in because Antoine has come out in front.
Tyler's in second, and Wes Van Dyke is in third.
Yep.
Sam Boozen's in fourth.
He is in fourth. I don't know whether that's worked out for Sam as well as
He might have to stop, though.
Well, he's 5 positions up from where he started, so he's got no complaints, has he?
No.
But Antoine, I'm not convinced. He'd have served a speeding penalty in his stop, right?
Boy, look at you.
Yeah. No, I don't think he got one either. Sorry, talking to Clyde again. You can't hear him.
Had to be really close.
Yep. So he is 5.5 seconds ahead of Tyler, who is here. No, he's not. This is Ben.
We've got Manuel Minot's in the pits as well.
Yep.
Let's see. Ben Cullen behind Marnix DeWitt by a little over a half a second. And that's 5th and 6th position. Wow, Anton Blanker's 159. Tyler 134. Wow. 201. Oh, that must be the outlap.
That's with an outlap in it.
Yeah, that's an outlap, yeah.
And Tyler's not eating into it. If anything, it's increasing at the moment, is it? Oh, it's just yo-yoing up and down at the moment.
We're down to 6 minutes to go.
Yep. And then Ben's pitted.
Don't even bother opening the cap. Just throw the gas over the top. Maybe it'll seep in somewhere.
That's a funny one. I like that.
Yeah, Blankart's behind the whale about 1.4 seconds. That's for 6th and 7th, respectively.
They've dropped off 5th place, haven't they?
Yeah, they're 6th and 7th, and 5th is Marnix DeWitt.
Puff of smoke from the tyres of Kevin DeVale's car.
Yeah, you can see that yellow car right in his mirror. He's getting a little nervous, probably.
It is closing.
Yep. And we got a little less than 5 minutes to go.
Antoine Blancas has got his toe in again. He's done a 1:33.7.
Tyler 134.3 and Van Dyke 133.4. So
I suppose Tyler may end up in 3rd place if he's not got the fuel to gun it round the... Oh, hang on. Oh, Sam. I didn't expect Sam in, really. Thought he might be able to fuel save that one.
Wow,
but...
I was going to say, there's only 3 laps left or so. Wow, it's a shame.
Yeah, it is. This will be the quickest splash and dash you've ever seen.
Go, Sam, go.
Fill it up with a syringe.
Yeah, really.
So here we go, Wes Van Dijk's nearly 3 seconds ahead. That little shadow there is Tyler Newitt, otherwise known as Primary Target.
Or as our director calls him, the Smiling Assassin.
Yeah. Is he eating into it? He is. He's taken 2/10 out since I started talking. Nearly half a second now.
Tyler's car looks like it's getting closer.
Yeah, it's... let's see what he's doing here. I think he's going to be off gas a lot.
We probably got 2 laps to go. This one and another one, I think. Let me see.
Well, I hope the Bushfink boys have got their fuel calculators on maximum, because I've seen cars run out of fuel around Daytona. He's off gas early still. So this is a bit of a mix at the minute of fuel save versus go fast.
And in case you're just joining us, that's an inset picture of Tyler Newitt at the helm of the 2nd place car.
And really, Johnny Brandon called the tactic for Antoine Blancas earlier and said, if you've got the overall speed, then you can account for your own pit stop versus the fuel saving of another driver. So, good insight.
Yeah, if you can, that's what I was mentioning before. If you can outweigh that time differential, it doesn't matter. You're still going to win it.
Yeah. So Wes absolutely foot in. Look at that, braking it right at the last second, gets it tucked in, and he's now 1.7 seconds off Tyler.
So is this the white flag lap, director, or don't we know?
Don't think so. I think the next one will be.
No, we're on the white flag lap, correct? Oh, no, okay, penultimate, okay.
Puffs of dirt or smoke from Tyler's car. You want to keep it clean.
Wes Van Dyke could definitely catch him with 2 more laps after this one.
I think it'll be 1 more after this.
That's what I mean, yeah. White flag, and then, yep. We count funny in the States, sorry.
Oh, late braking into the bus stop.
Oh, boy.
Crazy good.
Things like on rails going through there.
Yep, so 1.5 seconds is Tyler's lead at the moment over Wes. This is the battle for second place, done on two extraordinarily different strategies. And that was the white flag on the booth at the top there.
Okay, we're into our final lap. Through turn 1. Wes took that very fast. Wow.
He really did, yeah.
Oh!
He didn't gain too much from it, though.
Yeah, it looks wide here.
Yeah. The key points will be up to the bus stop.
Yep.
And then, obviously, the turns 3 and 4 of the oval circuit.
He's trying to get close so he can maybe get a run on him down the front straightaway.
Yeah, but Tyler might get a toe off that car in front. Depends whether he's got the fuel or not.
Very possibly.
Really throwing it into these corners.
Wow, he is. He's hammering this.
The gap is still 1.5 seconds.
Last lap flailing taking place.
Yep, absolutely. Somewhere in the distance, Antoine Blancas is about to take the checkered flag. I don't think that Wes can do this. He's wide through bus stop there. He's lost some time, if anything.
It's going to be hard to pull him in from that distance.
And this is Antoine. Last turn, last bit of straight. Taking the victory.
Crosses the finish line. Well done.
For Bushfink Racing. Tyler Newitt in second.
Second place, good run for Tyler. And third for Wes Van Dyke. Gave it a hell of a shot. Looks like in fourth place we're going to get Marnix DeWitt. He's had a couple up and downs today, but still running. Good man.
I knew it probably wasn't going to be enough to win. Once I lost the toe with you two, it was the only option, really.
Yeah, but
He crosses the line.
in the rules or something that we only had 75% fuel, because I expected 75 liters.
Kevin DeVale and Hans Blancart still in the same order they were. Kevin De Winter follows home in 7th.
And Roy Maas.
And Sam Boozen.
Ben Cullen.
Jamie Jeffrey coming home in 11th, so he's up 5 places because he started stone last.
He stuck it out all the way. Well done. Here he comes across the line. Nice run, Jamie. Good job.
There's many more people on the circuit. I think that's everybody across the line. So we'll run through the finishing order once that becomes official.
Stop flashing in the audience. It's all over.
Very nail-biting finish, wasn't it, Bill? While we're waiting for the official to take over.
It really was, Pete. It was a heck of a battle all the way around. A lot more competitive than I really thought it was going to be. It really was well handled, good driving, no craziness out there. Was good all around. It was a fun race to watch. And I wonder if there's a scoring problem because we don't have any results yet. That's interesting. Yep. Okay. Yep. As our director mentioned, the session in iRacing has to click over before we can see the results.
So yeah, it's surprising that Sam chose a different tactic to Tyler. I didn't expect that. I thought they'd both go out on the same one because I've seen Sam do fuel saving before. I don't think he's a massive fan of it, but it was certainly decent. So here's our team standings. Were you aiming for team standings, Clyde? Apparently the cameraman is playing. We'll wait and remind everybody of our sponsors. So this is brought to you by 365 Hosts. And by Dama and by Yato as well.
We definitely appreciate their support. And by the way things look, I think you've tacked on to a pretty good deal here. It's going to be a good run all the way through.
I think it's going to be a very competitive season. So here we are with the final standings. Your race winner for tonight for Bushfink Racing was Antoine Blancas. A notable win there. First race of the season, sets himself up very well. Tyler Newitt finished second for BSTV Esports Green. In third was Wes van Dijk. A very exciting race from him, to be honest. Bushfink Racing again. In fourth place for Greenleaf Racing was Marnix de Witt. In the thick of it all the way through. Fifth was Kevin de Vale for Stage 1 Racing Juniors. Hans Blankart finished sixth for Stage 1 Racing Seniors. Seventh was Kevin de Winter for Stage 1 Racing Juniors. And Roy Mass finished eighth. Ninth was Sam Buzan for BSTV Green. And Ben Cullen finished 10th for BSTV Esports Yellow. Jamie Jeffrey finished 11th for CCR. 12th place was Manuel Winans for Stage 1 Racing Seniors. Then we had in 13th place Artie Boschart for Stage 1 Racing, and Dion Newveld was 14th, also for Stage 1 Racing. Alexander Roggenbuck and his Turn 1 antics finished 15th, and Chris Shaw rage quit with 53 laps not done in 16th place for BSTV Esports Yellow.
Actually, let me just interject. I mean, that Chris Shaw sent a message that he evidently was babysitting his daughter, and she woke up and wouldn't go back to sleep, so he had to quit. So that's one reason he's out. He didn't rage quit.
Oh well, that definitely explains that.
Family calls.
Yeah, absolutely. Oops, I'm trying to get out of SDK at the minute, so that I can do something else because it's being weird. So I'll just quit out of iRacing instead. Wait for my screens to go back to normal. And get back into Discord. Right, so in the booth we have our second place finisher. No sign of Bushfink Racing's boys at the moment. But we should, if I've clicked all the right buttons, have one Tyler Newitt in the booth. Good evening, Tyler.
Hello.
So, what do you fill your car with? Just like high-powered air? Is that what you've got?
No,
No, go on.
I like fuel-saving races, but that was more extreme than I like.
Yeah, we saw some big lifts from you as you went round, yeah.
That second stint, I was driving, maybe 70%, just to... It ended up being, I think it was because the track was cooler at night, it ended up being tougher to fuel save than we even expected, and we knew it was going to be close anyway, so it was just a matter, once I hadn't made 19 laps in that first stint, I needed to mega save in the second, but it was really the only option. It's the classic Daytona problem of if you let the leader get away, you're out of luck. I had, I think, to keep up with Antoine, but the problem was I got stuck in a group of battling cars, and once that happened, he's free to just walk away up the road. So,
yeah, we were mentioning that actually in the booth. The scrapping from third place back for about 5 places. Really, there was lots of swapping going on, and it really kind of let Antoine get away.
Yeah, and the problem is, to avoid that, you need cooperation between drivers. And unless you're around teammates, that's usually not going to happen. So I mean, I don't blame anyone for racing me, but it did kind of kill any chance I had at the win. My only option at that point was to save as much as I could and try and save the stop, and I did, but it was not as effective as I would have liked to have been.
No, and when Wes spun it, I think it was about lap, I don't know, 17. No, it was before the first stop, wasn't it? So it'd be about lap 10. And he ended up 5 places back, I think. And he came back through the field very quickly. These two Bushfink boys are going to give you some grief over this season, it looks like, don't you think?
Yeah, I was actually hoping he would work his way through a bit quicker, because if I could fuel save much better and keep the pace up in behind him. I was a little disappointed when I saw that, actually, because those two battling, I was hopeful I could close that gap back up. But once he fell back, it was going to be too difficult. So it was actually a little disappointing. But yeah, they're really on pace. Daytona's a little bit different from anywhere else. I mean, we had our car. We just used our Daytona 24 setup, which was max straight line speed pretty much, and it was effective. We really closed on the Bushfink guys in a straight line, but that's not going to be the case everywhere else. So on perhaps more even terms where it's less setup dependent, I'll be very interested to see how I stack up against the Bushfink guys, because they are definitely rapid.
Yeah, they're obviously well experienced in this car. But then so are you and Sam. You finished 2nd and 9th, respectively. So not a bad night for BSTV Esports Green. And a very positive start for your campaign in this series. So anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, of course. Shout out to BSTV and BSTV Esports for putting this on and letting me drive for them. And to the series sponsors, 365 hosts, Tamar, Yato, and the other series, EDF Motorsports, VRA, everybody who brings these series to Race Tech too, of course. Everyone who brings these series to the viewing audience, it's great. So really appreciate it, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
Oh, thank you very much for a very entertaining race. Our 2nd place finisher, Tyler Newitt.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Okay. I thought his fuel saving was epic. I couldn't believe he kept going past the pit entry, Bill.
Yeah, well, obviously he's a little bummed out because it didn't work exactly the way he wanted it to, but he did a hell of a job. I think, what he said about having that battle and, with the 5 or 6 cars around, I think it slowed him down enough that, when Antoine got out there far enough, I mean, when you get out there 50 seconds, that's a hell of a margin to try to make back up, so, so any kind of fuel saving or one less pit stop's not going to haul that in. But he did a hell of a job anyway. Finishing 2nd is nothing to sneeze at.
No, not at all. And hopefully, if I, again, press all the right buttons, we should end up with our 9th place finisher.
Oh, this is our
Sam
regular
Boonen.
director. This is our regular director and producer, huh?
Yeah, and how the tables have turned. Good evening, Sam.
Good evening, boys. I'm just here to check out how bad Clyde was for the cameras, not a real interview.
Yeah, we need some work on sound and replays and Anyway.
He did get some pretty good replays on number 2 BSTV car, I believe. So
that one, jeez. Lap 1 was my biggest issue.
Right. Okay. We did get a very cool slow-mo of your bus stop sideways slide. Oh, it's getting replayed now. Isn't that nice? And also your turn 1 incident as well. So they were both done in slow motion. This he's gone quite far back here, really, hasn't he? He's not got the finesse that you've got, Sam. It has to be said.
Yeah, I know.
You'd have cut that down and just got the interesting portion of it, but he's trying to milk it, I think. So tell us about your race then, other than this sideways slide, getting on the bumps at the end of the bus stop. You were in the thick of it for quite a long time with some of the other guys around you, and didn't manage to do the fuel saving in the same style as Tyler. But in the second stint, you must have saved an awful lot because you went 2 laps beyond everybody else.
Yeah, we knew on the chat, we knew that we needed 20 laps, at least on one stint, to get away with the race with that 2-stopper, and I did 19 on the second one. I saw it was not enough. I could not make it to 20, so I went flat out to the last one. But yeah, I threw my tires on lap 1, and then a bit after, trying to avoid Kevin on turn 1.
Yes. That was top of the century. You should get a prize just for that.
Yeah, it was great. You didn't hit him. That was excellent, Sam.
Yeah, I was real fear for me, that one. I saw me right inside his car. And once you lock up the tires with these, you just go straight on. And
yeah,
it was just a matter of spray of not hitting him. At that point, that's why I spun on the turn 1 on the last stint. They were way worse than I expected. So I went a bit too far and just spun it. That's fine. I think I have the pace for a top 5 in this series, but yeah, not today. Too much fuel saving cost me a lot of time in the 2 first stints. Yeah, there we go.
Well, you're getting a lot of screen time for your sponsors right now as Clyde milks the slow motion replays of your incidents, or not incidents, but your spins. So not a bad shout for the first race out, 9th place. It sets BSTV Esports Green up for a decent season. But those Bushfink boys, what have you got for them?
I think I've got Tyler, but myself, I'm not quite sure I've got something for them. They're way quicker than me. They're even quicker than Tyler. So, it's going to be a tough one. Going to try to do my best to be in the top 5 each race. Try to get the highest place to put BSTV Sports Green as high as I can. I did not start pretty well, but, going to make that back.
Cool.
Yeah, and you did a great job, Sam. Don't worry, man.
Yeah, and what was I going to say just then? I can't remember. Next track is forgotten already. Sebring. You love Sebring.
No, geez, cool, awesome.
Oh dear.
Another saving fuel track.
It is another saving fuel track. Yeah. So
I love that. That's great.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll attract more people to the series from the people that are watching, because we're more cars, the merrier. We have come up with a new adjective for crashing at turn 1 on your own. It's called doing a rog and buck, which we'll abuse at our leisure in future races.
I think I saw that name a few times in my relative.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that. Great.
So, I mean, hopefully everybody comes back and everybody enjoyed it, because it was a very entertaining race. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go, Sam?
Well, first, Tyler, for the setup and every incentives you give before the race. That's really appreciated. Ben, for sharing the voice chat as well. I had a bit of talk between Stint 2 and 3, trying to figure out what's the strategy. All the sponsors, EDF, Yato, Damar, 365 Osts, Virtual Racing Association, all that guys that help us to put these on, and Peter and Bill for doing the broadcast.
Not a problem at all.
And Clyde, of course. He's gonna get better over time. I've not learned that on one race, so that's fine.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job today, really.
Don't go too far, Bill. Think of all the things that he's said in the past. This is our revenge time now.
You realize, though, once the gate opens, he's going to be over here in August. I got to stay good friends,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Funny stuff. Right. In that case, Sam Boozan, our 9th place finisher. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
So, Bill, fantastic race. very entertaining. Hopefully, it'll attract more people to the league. Any standout moments for you?
Well, it's been mentioned a couple times. The Bushfink guys, actually, they're the kids to beat right now. Tyler gave him a heck of a run. I think Tyler definitely has the ability to get up there, and other guys are going to improve as we go along. If we get a few more cars, which I hope they do, you never know. You know, you're going to get a couple ringers in here. You never know what's going to happen. But I don't think it's a runaway series. I mean, we run on some tracks that aren't necessarily wide open, so it takes some what should I say, finesse and you know, an ability to get around some of these tracks with this type of car. But it was a good show today for 16 cars. It was very entertaining, and as I said earlier, that Daytona always puts on a good race. So I was very happy with today. Hopefully the people that watched and the people that tuned in enjoyed it. I certainly did, and looking forward to the next one, Pete.
That's all good. And on one of the chats in Discord, Alexander Roggenbuck said he's had issues with his VR, so that's probably the reason for his incidents. So I might have to take my adjective back. Feel a bit bad now. But no, thanks to 365 hosts. Thanks to all our other sponsors for all our series. And I'll close the broadcast now by saying good night from me. I'll let Bill say good night, and might let Clyde say good night. I'm really not sure at the moment. He'll have to find the button, which means he can speak on the actual broadcast, so it probably won't come through anyway. But no, thank you very much to everyone for watching and listening. Follow us on Twitch, follow us on Facebook, like the broadcast if you did. Tell us why you didn't if you didn't, and if it's to do with the sound, just tell Clyde. And we'll see you next time. We're back on Wednesday, where you can watch me crash repeatedly, probably. Is it Barcelona? I think it is.
I don't know where we're going.
I'm pretty sure. No, it might not be Barcelona.
Barcelona Historic?
Yeah, Barcelona Historic. That's right. I've not done any practice yet, so that will be tasty.
Is Barcelona Historic the one without that
silly chicane? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a lot better. That'll be a lot better, yeah.
Cool. All right. So good night to everybody. Over to you, Bill.
Okay, thanks, Pete. Good night. I really think it was a great show. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to Clyde for giving it his best. I think he did a heck of a job, even though we're really breaking his stones right now. But he did a great job considering we didn't have our usual guy who was out there driving, having a good time tonight. So for everybody that showed up and listened and chatted, thanks a lot. We appreciate it, and looking forward to the next time. Have a good one.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.